Dragon Rampage, new game from Richard Launius. So this one I have to run through pretty quick. That's okay. So at Essen, we have 72 copies here. This board, this one I'm about to show you, is only here at Essen. So it'll be different than the main release. But apparently I can't open it up because the shrimp wrap is so tight. So I guess you'll have to, figure that out later.
Well,
so,
it's only for people at Essen now.
That's all. Can't stop.
Moving on.
Richard will be like, what the hell were you doing? Can't Stop, re-release. This one also is now back in the U.S. and available here as well.
I've been waiting for this one for a while.
So yeah, we're excited to have this. Another Sid Saxon game, right? Very excited to see
With
it.
the classic octagon stop sign shaped board.
We did. And the thing, the thing that people have been loving about this edition is that we use traffic cones.
I didn't notice that.
That's brilliant.
That is brilliant.
So that they've been having a lot of fun with that. So we're excited to have this back. That debuted here. We did do. I tell you what. Let's see if I can open this.
Well, here I'll work on this one while you get a byword there.
Yes, I can do that. Also a reprint. This is Byword Deluxe. Very excited about this one to be back. This was another one that had been in print with face to face.
There we go. There's our Can't Stop
board. And
board
actually you can leave the tray, what we've designed that as, so you can actually leave the tray in here
in the box.
And play it that way.
Oh, because it's definitely elevated to the point where actually you can, there's trays in here that you can just dump your traffic cones in the corner.
Yep, for sure. And then these are the cones that you use to show your space. So as you roll your dice, you're progressing up, and on the edges, people who follow the math get it.
Yep.
So I love it. This is a lot of fun.
Yes, one of my favorite examples of statistics in dice rolling.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, Sid was an engineer, and so it's funny because going back and looking at Monad and Bazaar and Can't Stop, I'm like, oh, these are like combinations. I can dig this. Totally on it. So here.
Is that the design from the contest you did on BoardGameGeek?
This is kind of an adaptation from that. Everybody who participated in the contest got 3 copies. So yeah, we kind of took some of their influence, did a little bit of our own, and we've gotten there. A couple of the big stores are looking at this one.
Oh,
so we're excited about that.
Byword.
So Byword, another reprint that we did in Money Bag. So I'm going to get that out. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you zooming? Let me pull back up.
Oh, our prediction was wrong. We were predicting 2 forklifts during our interview. It seems if anyone can hear the massive motor in the background, that's our first forklift.
So we've got nice tiles for this one. Previous edition had wood, but you had the nature of wood with the heat stamp is you have a little bit of variance there, whatnot. So I think going to these tiles, right, which have a nice weight to them.
Yeah, much like skinny mahjong tiles.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think this came out really nicely. I think people will be very pleased with this. Yeah, like I said, this is another one that's getting a lot of attention from some of the bigger stores. So we're quite happy about that. And this is one where as you're buying, you have a group of letters. You have to decide if you want to, how much you want to pay for them or whatnot. And so then as you make words to recoup that, the words have a scaling effect to them.
Right, have to pay off on your investment.
Yes, exactly.
And the rarer the letter, the better the payoff.
Probably better than the market's going right now. So that's Byword.
And
I don't know. We got time for me to crack the board for Dragon Rampage. All right. I feel like I will not be doing justice if I don't. I might fight it here for like 8 minutes.
Well, when we did get rolling a little bit late.
What was the test of your manliness?
Well, I failed that already.
I've got a razor knife.
I got it. Finally. A lot of pressure. As soon as you put my manliness on the spot, I started taking it seriously.
On camera, yeah.
He's like, oh, all right. If he's going to go there, then I better go here. So the way Dragon Rampage works, I think I could just work from this. This is a dice rolling game. You have cards, you have your player cards. You know what? Need to be decisive, Bloom. All right, we'll get the other stuff out here too. We'll get a player map so we can reference that. So you are part of a party going into a dungeon to steal a dragon's treasure. But unfortunately, the barbarian, in his best barbarian fashion, has woken up the dragon. Thanks. And so now we have some decisions to make. And that is, do we want to stay and fight the dragon, or are we going to hightail it out?
Flee.
Right? Yes, exactly. So here's an example of a player map.
All right.
I got a player
Which you're going to put in front of you.
Cool, and I'll give you one. I got one.
All right, I'm the dwarf, and you are the elf.
Yes. And these are, this tells you your life, so these are the hits you take.
So mine says 8 life, yours says 7.
Yeah, and let's see, I'm purple, you are blue.
I'm blue.
And this is an example of treasure cards, Dragon Rampage cards, and hero cards. So you have some hero cards in your hand that allows you to kind of mess with other people to augment attacks you're doing, etc. The Dragon Rampage card, it's a little bit unhappy that you're in bothering it, trying to take its treasure. So we have tokens as well that I need to show. So here are player tokens. And this is an example. So we have our tokens that we're moving along the board. The dwarf's in another one. And so on my turn, I roll the dice. You can roll them up to 3 times. And you place, for example, let's say, I'm going to just pick some examples here. So if I rolled, say, 4 attack, so I was in first, and 2 craftiness, and I got the dragon's attention. So
based on your dice roll.
Yes, and you orient these from left to right. These cascaded boxes show that those are inactive for this reason. So you don't have to be in the very first spot to get a benefit. The benefits are conveyed here. So this is defense. This is the attention of the dragon, which means you're probably going to get hit. This is the ability to take something from one of the other players. This is grabbing some of the treasure cards, like a magic ring. This is attacking the dragon, which is what these cubes are doing. So the dragon has a certain amount of hit points depending on the number of players. This is movement through the dungeon. These icons tell you what is available to you as you progress through the dungeon. This is a small dungeon. This is a large dungeon. So depending on the length of time you want to play, this also changes the dragon's hit points as well. What's interesting about this game is that depending on how the game ends determines the victory points. So for example, if the dragon is slain, the person who's closest to the exit gets penalized. So you've got this kind of push and pull action going on. If you see somebody bolting for the door, but your strategy or you have a lot of hits on the dragon, you may want to hinder their movement, and that's what some of the hero cards allow you to do. So Richard designed, is the designer of Defenders of the Realm, cooperative game. This is not a cooperative game.
Fantasy, yes. Cooperative,
exactly,
no.
Exactly. And so I really like that dynamic of you're kind of watching what somebody else is doing. And these cards definitely have a gotcha element to them. So as people sit down and play it, oftentimes, if you sit like at a show where you've got a group of people who their first instinct isn't to start jacking with other people, then the type of interaction that actually is designed into the game isn't as apparent. But when you play that with your group and whatnot, you can absolutely get up in each other. So it's definitely a fun.
Now, are the characters have special abilities, or are they more just flavor?
Their character cards are different. Absolutely. So, for example, the barbarian does
better at
more
attacking.
likely to be attacking. Also, can kind kind of be knocking some of the players back or stopping them from doing what they want to do. The rogue might be more involved in taking stuff, right, from other people or things like that. The elf, which is the archer, has some ranged attacks. It can do some damage without fear of getting hit back by the dragon and whatnot. So absolutely the characters do drive the cards.
Now in this Essen promo that you have in front of us, how is this board different than the one that you'll see?
This board, the board that's in the mass printing has, what happens is these icons get faded into the background around the picture a little bit, so it's reoriented slightly, and this cascade of tiles is a little bit different. And the other one, these actually aren't here. And so it's just the ones that are active that are appearing. So both boards, I think, look really sharp, so it's just that they're a little different.
Aesthetics.
So yes, I think that's accurate. I think that's absolutely accurate. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show.
All right.